Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha. Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताका स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमो आचार्यपादाय निताय कृपाप्रदायिने गौरकथा धामधाय नगरग्रामादितारिणे नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे कथंचन सुदेयस्मिन् दुष्करं सुकरं भवेत् विस्मृते विपरीतं स्यात् श्री चैतन्य नमामि तं मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमां वन्दे श्री गुरु दीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरं हरि ओम तत्सत्। Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we'll start our class. So last class, Aishwarya Mataji would have discussed about cleanliness. So this class is also very, very important. And in today's class, we will discuss about the Prasad Seva. Like before every class, before starting, we always have Srila Prabhupada picture, just to show that whatever we are discussing, whatever we are learning, everything is coming from Srila Prabhupada. It is said like Prabhupada has only told that if we follow Prabhupada, then it is sure that we can go back home, back to Godhead in just one lifetime. So we don't know if we will follow others, or if we will follow some XYZ, what result we will get. Okay, even if we will have some sukriti collected, but still we don't know how long it will take, the process will take. But we know that if we follow Srila Prabhupada, then our life is going to be perfect. We can go back home, back to Godhead. So it is very important that we read Srila Prabhupada books and we understand what Srila Prabhupada is told through our Guru, and just apply it. So all our teachings are based on what Srila Prabhupada has taught us. Okay, so today's session is Prasad Seva. What does it mean? What does it mean when we say Prasad? What is the meaning of Prasad? Anyone knows? You can raise your hand or type in the, yeah, offering. Okay. Prasad is not offering exactly, Mataji. Not exactly offering. Actually, it is something else. Someone else want to share?
Anything that we offer to Lord Krishna and then we consume it, that is Prasad, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Very nice. Thank you so much for the answer. So Prasad is remnants of the Lord. Anything which we offer to Krishna and then we honor it is Prasad. It's not just the food which we are offering as bhoga to Krishna and then we are having. It's even whatever the garland we accepted as Prasad garland. Even the clothes, some people will have some remnants of the the jewelry, the clothes of the Lord. Those are all Prasad. So whatever is the remnants of the Lord, which Lord has used it, and now we have got as a blessing from the Lord. We honor it. So that is known as Prasad. But here specifically we will be discussing about the bhoga, the food which we offer to Krishna and then we accept it as Prasad, that we are going to discuss. Okay, so Bhakti Vinod Thakur has told that Prasad Seva Korita Hoy Sakala Prapaicha Jai. What does it mean? That I conquer all worldly illusions by honoring the Lord's Prasadam. So actually, like most of us, when we come to Krishna consciousness, like most of us are attracted by the Prasadam, right? Like we may be attracted to Kirtan, to the philosophy. Everything is so wonderful. But when we go to a temple and we honor Prasadam, or some devotees invite us and we honor Prasadam, like that is what is so very attractive, and anyone gets attracted to it. Like it is said that Prabhupada has told that all the devotees should go for Harinam Sankirtan, and Harinam Sankirtan means distribution of Harinam and distribution of books and distribution of Prasadam. So there are some it is said that because of our past life, the consciousness which we have gathered, the impressions which we have, some people are very spontaneously attracted when they hear the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, while some they are not very spontaneously attracted. So some people are in that category. They are very much attracted to the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Some people are very much attracted to the philosophy, but some people, those who are not attracted, but even if they have prasadam, they get attracted to Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is like Krishna. It is all attractive. But prasadam is the easiest to attract. It's the easiest. And everyone likes to have prasadam. And what is the result of having prasadam? Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur says that I conquer all worldly illusions by honoring the Lord's prasadam. All worldly illusions are conquered just by honoring the Lord's prasadam. So prasadam, it seems to be something which gives us so much pleasure, and it is no austerity. It is not a yoga. It may seem to us like it is gratifying ourselves, but no, but actually it is not so. It has such an effect in our consciousness. It just purifies our consciousness. It is like it is said that whatever we eat, part of it goes to our body, some part goes to our blood, and some part also goes to our brain, and it cleanses our brain. It purifies the brain. It also acts on the it also increases the intelligence, and this is the effect of honoring prasadam. When we honor prasadam, then it goes to the consciousness, that spiritual consciousness, and then we are able to practice Krishna consciousness very easily. Then we are able to accept whatever is spiritual very easily. In contrast to that, if we take some tamasic food, like non-vegetarian food, some fish or meat or some onion, garlic, actually those food, they also have the emotions of that animal which when they were being killed. And what emotions they will have? They will have emotions like fear, anxiety, anger, and those things goes into our consciousness also. So you will see, like one who is honoring prasadam and one who is honoring tamasic food, you can see the difference in consciousness and their receptivity also. So this is how practically we can see things, and that is what Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur is also telling. Like just by honoring prasadam, all the illusions go away. Now this is a very beautiful pastime picture. Anyone remembers what is this picture? What is the pastime going on in this picture? Before starting, we will discuss a little bit about this pastime. You can raise your hand or you can type in the chat box. What is this pastime? You can guess, no problem. There is nothing like giving right answers or wrong answers. It is like we are interacting with each other. We are discussing things. So you can answer. Harinam Kirtan. Okay, Kirtan is going on, definitely. Anyone else wants to answer? Shilpaja Mataji is raising hand.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Mataji, is it at Haridas Thakur's venue? Residence.
Haridas
They have
Thakur,
they gathered to take prasadam. Is it that?
I know, Mataji, you are missing a little. See, there are so many pots. Recently, only this festival went. Anyway, thank you so much for your answer, Mataji. But this is another pastime. We will discuss about this. Anyone else want to try? Okay. Different people honoring food. Panihati. Yes, Nandita Mataji. Mohan Prabhu also has answered Panihati. Yes, this is the right answer. This is the Panihati Festival. So, anyone knows what happened during this festival? Anyone wants to share? You can share a little bit. We will discuss more about it. Feast. Yes, definitely. Feast was there. Yes, Sanita Mataji.
I'm only trying, Mataji. Please forgive me if it's completely wrong. This was when Nityananda Prabhu, it was like, I read about it on ISKCON Desire Tree. That's the only thing I know. It was like a punishment festival, but a very enjoyable festival because he ordered Haridas. Mataji, was it Haridas Thakur only?
No, Mataji, it was Raghunath Das Goswami.
Sorry, Raghunath Das Goswami. He ordered him to distribute that the Hichida to all the devotees when he met him after a very long gap. I'm sorry if I'm wrong.
No, Mataji. Thank you so much for your answer. Okay, so what happened actually? Raghunath Das Goswami is one of the 6 Goswamis. I don't know how many of you know. There are 6 Goswamis who are our acharyas, who comes after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Guru Parampara. And out of which one is Raghunath Das Goswami. So he belonged to a very rich family, to a caste family who were landowners, and yeah, they were very rich. But Raghunath Das Goswami always wanted to take association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He always wanted to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He always tried to escape from his family, run away from his family. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once met him and he told that now you stay, because you have your household responsibility, you are married, you stay at home, you do your responsibilities well, and when time will come, you will come to me. You don't worry about that. But first you perform your household duties. So Raghunath Das Goswami was at home. He was performing all his household duties, but at the same time, he was always detached from it. He had a very beautiful wife. He had a very rich house. All the facilities were there. He was doing everything, but he was completely detached from all of those things. And he was always thinking of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and how to serve and how to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Actually, it is a very long story, but I'll just shorten it and tell. Then what happened? Raghunath Das Goswami, once he heard that Nityananda Prabhu is in a place nearby, which is known as Panihati. So he just decided to run away from the home and meet Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he flees away from the house. Although so many servants comes after him, but they are not able to catch hold him. And ultimately he reaches Panihati. When he reaches Panihati, there he saw that Nityananda Prabhu was sitting under a tree and he was giving a very, very nectarian course on spiritual subject matters. All the Nityananda Prabhu. So when he saw Raghunath Das Goswami saw like that, behind the tree only, he fell down like a stick and he gave his obeisances to Nityananda Prabhu. Then one of the Vaishnavas, he saw Nityananda Prabhu that he was paying obeisances from behind. So he informed he saw Raghunath Das Goswami paying obeisances to Nityananda Prabhu from back. So he informed Nityananda Prabhu that there is Raghunath Das Goswami, there is a person who is offering your obeisances. Nityananda Prabhu sees him. and he tells that you are a thief. You were offering me obeisances from behind. This is a work of a thief. This is not a work of a Brahman or of a Vaishnava. Give obeisances from behind. Now I will give you punishment. Actually, Niru is most merciful. In Vaishnava bhajan, there is a Vaishnava bhajan which says like that. Parama karuna pahudui jana Shabavatara Sarashiromani Sabavatara Sarashiromani Kevalananda Kanda Kevalananda Kanda Parama Karuna Pahudu Jana Nitai Gaurachandra. So Nitai Gaurachandra, they are most merciful. Param, they are the most merciful incarnation, and they are Shiromani. They are the crest, whole incarnation of the Lord. And they are always in bliss. Nityananda Prabhu, he is very, very merciful, and even if he is giving punishment, we will find out that enriching how beautiful that punishment was. So he tells him that you will actually that was just an hasya parihas. Okay, my voice is breaking, is it?
Okay, your voice is clear. Quite clear.
Okay. Okay. What I was telling, voice is breaking. Many people has this complaint. I'll just change my network. 1 minute. Yeah. So I was telling that. So Nityananda Prabhu tells him that I will punish you. And then what punishment he gives to Raghunath Das Goswami? 1 minute, I just change my. I changed my network. I hope now it is fine. If there is any disturbance, then please tell me again. Okay. So, so what happened? That Nityananda Prabhu told Raghunath Das Goswami that you have to bring rice and chipped rice and yogurt and mix, and you have to feed all the Vaishnavas here. You have to feed everyone here. This is the punishment. So when Raghunath Das Goswami heard about this punishment, he was so happy that what a beautiful punishment it is that I have to serve the Vaishnavas. He instantaneously go and he brings 2 very big pots. He goes to the market, he purchases chipped rice, yogurt, milk, fruits, and he purchases everything, and then he mixes them in the pots. So one pot was in which there was yogurt. First, that chipped rice was soaked in milk. Then that soaked chipped rice was added to yogurt, plus some bananas were added. That was one preparation. The other preparation was that soaked chipped rice was added to a condensed milk, and there was a special banana, champakala, that was added, and some camphor was added. So that was the second preparation. And then all the Vaishnavas there, they were given 2 matkas. You can see in this picture, no, so many pots are there. So they were given 2 pots, 1 pot of yogurt and chipped rice, 1 pot of condensed milk and chipped rice, and it was distributed to everyone. So when others heard, then all the village people came. Then Raghunath Goswami again arranged more chipped rice, and they prepared more, and they even went to another village and they gathered more chipped rice and more yogurt and more milk. And when other village people heard, they also came, and it was like whole of that area was filled with the devotees, filled with the devotees. And in fact, even that area was not filled. The Ganga, the banks of the Ganga was filled. Then even more people came, and people were standing inside the Ganga river and they were honoring Prasadam. So that time, Nityananda Prabhu, what he did, he just took the Prasadam, and he called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not there, but it is like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is under the control of his devotees, and the topmost devotee is Nityananda Prabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and instantly he came there. And it was like not everyone was able to see him. Only few people were able to see. And what Nityananda Prabhu was doing, he took a little morsel from his pot, and he put in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mouth. Then he went to all other Vaishnavas. They had two pots. He again took one morsel from all the Vaishnavas' pots, and he was putting in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mouth. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taking one morsel and putting in Nityananda Prabhu's mouth. So so such a beautiful exchange was happening. Others were seeing it like Nityananda Prabhu is taking a morsel, and he's putting he's putting in air, and that is disappearing, because not everyone was able to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But this was happening. How Nityananda Prabhu went to everyone, and he gave little of the prasadam to little of that yogurt and chipped rice to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing, and it was such a loving exchange, and everyone was enjoying so much, and everyone was in bliss. Everyone was eating and taking Krishna's name, Hari 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 Hari. They were taking prasadam, Hari Hari. Prasadam is over, Hari Hari. They want more prasadam, Hari Hari. For everything, so holy names and prasadam, it was in the entire atmosphere, and it was so nice. And at end, what happened when everyone was fed? Then Raghunath Das Goswami was called by Nityananda Prabhu, and Nityananda Prabhu gave him his remnants. And Raghunath Das Goswami, when he took the remnants of Nityananda Prabhu, he honored that prasadam, he just filled in ecstasy. And then what he did, he didn't just took himself. Like we have this nature, no, whatever, if we have got some blessing or whatever, something which is very, very important, we will feel that everything I should only have, everything I should only use. But that was not with Raghunath Das Goswami. He gave it to all the Vaishnavas. He distributed among everyone. So this is how the Vaishnavas are. They are so very compassionate. And this is how Nityananda Prabhu is. He's so very compassionate. Even his punishment is so beautiful. So this festival is known as Panihati Festival, and also it is known as Danda Mahotsav, because that was punishment. So this is about honoring prasadam. Just by honoring prasadam, everyone experiences transcendental bliss. Everyone experiences so much of happiness. So there are so many leelas in Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Leela. There are so many pastimes of honoring prasadam. We'll discuss all the pastimes. Maybe not in this class, but in next class surely. Okay. So this was just one pastime. It is already 7:30. Okay. Okay. Now we will go to some Srila Prabhupada quotes. What Srila Prabhupada tells about honoring prasadam, and we will learn about what is the proper attitude in which we should honor prasadam. So someone can read this paragraph.
Jaya Mataji, are you reading?
Yeah, I will. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Kansa is more pleased when grains and ghee, instead of being offered in the fire, are prepared as prasada and distributed, first to the Brahmas and then to others. This system pleases
Krishna.
Kana more than anything.
Yeah. So what is the purport? That Krishna is more pleased when ghee and grains are used to prepare bhoga offered to Krishna and then distributed among others as prasad. Krishna is more pleased when this is done rather than if ghee and grains are offered in the fire. Why? Like what the effect which is obtained, the benefits obtained while by honoring prasadam, it cannot be compared to anything. It just changes our consciousness. Even if we do yagyas, it is fine, but we don't know if it changes our inner consciousness or not. But what we eat, it has direct effect on our consciousness. And Krishna Prasadam, it is an absolute platform. It is absolute as Krishna. So when we are taking Prasadam, it is going to the consciousness, that Krishna consciousness. So that is very, very important. So this Krishna, this Prabhupada is told that how Krishna is more pleased if we prepare grains from prasad, if we prepare prasadam from grains and ghee rather than using it in the yagya. Okay, so now we have to read certain quotes from the Vaishnava Sadachar handbook. I hope everyone has the soft copy of this book. And we will also be sharing screen. So we'll read these quotes now. This we have already read. Someone can read from this quote. This one.
Can they raise their hand, Mataji?
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji, I've unmuted you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Prasadam is never polluted, even if it is touched by the mouth. Or a person on the Paramahamsa stage accepts the remnants of food, Mahaprasadam, as spiritual. He does not consider it to be material or sense gratificatory.
Sorry, Maj. Yeah.
Yeah. He accepts Mahaprasadam not as ordinary dal and rice, but as spiritual substance. To say nothing of the remnants of food left by a pure Vaishnava, Prasadam is never polluted, even if it is touched by the mouth of a Chandala. Indeed, it retains its spiritual value. Therefore, by eating or touching such Mahaprasadam, a Brahmana is not degraded. There is no question of being polluted by touching the remnants of such food. Actually, by eating such Mahaprasadam, one is freed from all the contaminations of the material condition. That is the verdict of the Shastra. Purport Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit Madhya Leela 3.98. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji. So what is told here is that prasadam is a spiritual substance. It is not material. So when we honor prasadam, we don't see it as if it is rice, dal or roti sabzi. No, it is remnants of Krishna. It is as good as Krishna. So we should honor it like that. And it is also said that it never gets polluted. Even if it falls down in the ground, or if it is taken by Chandal. Chandal is one who is a dog eater. It is said in our scriptures that there are different castes, different grades. Like even in human society, there are 400 different species of human beings. So in those Chandalas are the lowest because they are the dog eaters. They are considered as the lowest. And even if Chandala touches it, it never gets polluted because it is not material. Whatever is spiritual, it can never be polluted by material contamination. It always holds its goodness. It always holds its character. So whatever may be whoever may touch the prasadam, but it is always spiritual. And it is said that if we take the remnants of a devotee, of a Vaishnava, then it has it is even a higher value. So it is said that when Vaishnavas come, we honor them prasadam, and we should try to take the remnants. There is a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita that says that devotees, remnants of food, Vaishnava, like when Vaishnavas, they honor prasadam, whatever the remnant is there. Second is when we wash their feet, that water, that charnamrit. And third is the dust of the lotus feet. These three things are highly purifying, highly purifying. It can purify us from all the contamination. So we try that whenever we go to Dham and we visit devotees, we visit senior devotees, we always try to take the dust from their chappal, from their footwear. We try to take the remnants when we go to temple, remnants of the devotees, of their prasadam. Like when we are going somewhere, if Guru Maharaj has come and they are doing their the Charan Seva and there is Charnamrit, we should try to take all these things, because these three things are very, very powerful, and it removes all our material contaminations. So that's why it is said that prasadam is never polluted. Whoever may eat it, it is always spiritual. It is always that absolute. We should know the nature. We should not consider it just as food. We should consider it as the remnants of Krishna, what Krishna has taken. And it is said that therefore by touching, to say nothing of the remnants of food left by a pure Vaishnava. So whatever food is left by a pure Vaishnava, it is so very purifying. So that is the nature. It is never polluted. Okay, now we will read the next excerpt.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mahaprasadam is not to be heated up. After our arrival in the morning, Srila Prabhupada informed me he wanted the deities Mahaprasadam for lunch. When the Mahaprasadam arrived from the temple, I started to heat it up. While in the kitchen, a devotee came in and told me that Srila Prabhupada wanted his prasadam. I am heating it up, I told him. I will bring it in right away. In an instant, they returned and said, Srila Prabhupada is angry. He wants it now. Trembling, I went into his room and offered my obeisances. He was shouting before I lifted my head. Why are you heating up the prasadam? He asked. Mahaprasadam is not to be heated up. I want it now. I did not want it heated up. I just wanted the prasadam. You bring it now. What is the difficulty? Shuddha Kirti Das, September 15, 1973, ISKCON, Juhu Beach, Mumbai, India. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. So here is the second etiquette, the rule which we need to follow. Like generally, whatever is offered to Krishna, when we are taking prasadam, honoring prasadam, the mood should be that this food is for Krishna's enjoyment. Whatever I have prepared, that is for Krishna's pleasure. Once Krishna will take it, whatever will be left, I will have it. It's not that it is for my pleasure or my enjoyment. It's not like that. So our consciousness, we have to train ourselves that we make our consciousness like this. So when we have this consciousness, like it is for Krishna. So whatever Krishna is left, we are taking. So this is what Prabhupada is teaching us. We don't heat it again. Like if we are heating it, then that means that I am having food for my enjoyment. That is for me. But no, it was for Krishna. We're just taking the remnants. So it is said that we don't heat it again. Even in Ayurveda, it is said that food should not be reheated. It loses its nutrients. But that is a very lower explanation of this. The explanation is that we accept whatever is offered to Krishna as prasadam, and we only have those remnants, and we take in that consciousness. So we don't heat it up again like that. We take it as it is offered to Krishna. Okay, next.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I was taught by my parents never to waste Krishna's energy. Srila Prabhupada, in my childhood, I was taught by my parents never to waste Krishna's energy. They taught me that if even a small grain of rice was stuck between the floorboards, I should pick it up, touch it to my forehead and eat it to save it from being wasted. I was taught how to see everything in relation to Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. We therefore do not like to see anything wasted or misused. Life comes from life. The 10th morning walk, May 14, 1973. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, so see how Srila Prabhupada is telling us to behave. Like if some prasadam falls down in the ground, also even I am learning so much. Like then we should not waste it. We should touch in our forehead like we do pranam. No, whatever falls down, even if our leg touches another person, we just touch that person and put our hand in the forehead. This is like respecting that person. Similarly, even if some food falls in it's a prasadam, it falls down and it is in the floor, we should not waste it. This Prabhupada is telling that I have been taught like that. We just take it and we do pranam and then we have it, but we don't waste it. So basically, the essence is that prasadam should never be wasted. We should not just throw the prasadam in the dustbin or like that. We should not do those things. Prasadam should never be wasted. And yeah, see, next excerpt is even more. It will clear these things even more. Okay, so we will read this and discuss further.
Hare Krishna. Whoever had spilled that rice will have to suffer. Once Prabhupada walked to the prasadam room and saw a grain of rice on the floor. He said, whoever had spilled that rice will have to suffer. That's Krishna. Prasadam should not be wasted. Srila Prabhupada, Remembrances, Gauridas Pandit, Siddhanta Dasa, ITV. Hare Krishna.
Oh, Krishna. See what Srila Prabhupada is telling. Srila Prabhupada is telling that prasadam is Krishna. Prasadam should never be wasted. Srila Prabhupada is telling that whoever spills the prasadam has to suffer. So we should never waste. We should just never throw the prasadam. That is Krishna himself. Can we throw Krishna? Can we disrespect Krishna? No, right? We always love Krishna. We always serve Krishna. Similarly, whatever is related to Krishna is on the same absolute platform. So we should never waste prasadam. Okay, next.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Take as much prasadam as you want, but eat everything that you take. You should eat as much as you can digest. Prabhupada often said, take as much prasadam as you want, but eat everything that you take. Not one grain of rice should be wasted. What is the difficulty? Shruta Kirti Dasa, June 21st, 1973, ISKCON, Mayapur, India. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So Prabhupada is telling that we should take enough prasadam so that we are full, but we should never waste it. We should not take over prasadam. So whenever we go to temple, generally all the servants, all the devotees, they just want to feed us more, more and more, and they will put in our plate so much of rice, dal, sabzi, everything. But if we are not habituated to eat that much, or if we get satisfied by less only, then we should not take more and then waste it. So we should take care of these things. Prasadam should never be wasted. We should eat enough, but we should not waste it. We should not take over and then that is not good, because that is Krishna himself. So we should not do that. Okay, next.
Mataji, can I read?
Yeah. Sure.
Don't eat more. Don't eat less also. So you cannot eat more or you cannot eat less. You just eat what you require. If you eat more, then you must be diseased. And if you eat less, you must be diseased. Yuktahara viharasya yogo bhavati siddhihi. You are not to starve, but don't eat more. Our program, Krishna Prasada, is that you eat Krishna Prasada. Eating is required. You have to keep your body fit for any practice. So eating is required. But don't eat more. Don't eat less also. We don't say that you eat less. If you can eat 10 pounds, eat. But if you cannot eat 10 pounds out of avarice, out of greediness, you eat pounds, then you will suffer. Srila Prabhupada lecture, Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, 13th and 15th verses, February 16th, 1969, Los Angeles.
Yeah. So Prabhupada is telling that we should not eat more. At the same time, we should not eat less. It's not that we should starve or Because if we have to practice nicely, our body should be good. This body serves as a vehicle. We know we are spirit souls. We know that we are not this body, but we also know that this body serves as a vehicle. Now, this vehicle should be in a good condition. For that, we should take good care of this vehicle also. We should eat nicely, but we should not eat more. So, Prabhupada is telling that although prasadam is sumptuously available and everything is there, but out of greediness, we should not just take and eat and eat and eat. We should take as much as we can eat, but out of greediness, we should not just take and spoil our health. We should be cautious about it. We should always know that this is Krishna Prasadam, this is Krishna himself. I should not waste it, and I should not also overeat it, because if I overeat it, I will be diseased. That was my choice. I should not undereat, and at the same time I should not overeat. Okay, next. This is Ayurvedic.
Jai Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
This is Ayurvedic law. Suppose I can eat so much, and if I eat more, then I get indigestion. That is the punishment of the laws of nature. I get dysentery, then I will have to starve for 3 days because I've eaten more. In the BG, it is said, if you want to be a yogi or spiritualist, you should not take more than what you can digest. Yuktahara, you can satisfy your hunger, but according to your yogic principle or from a health point of view, even if you can eat so much, you can understand that I can eat so much. You should not eat the whole thing. You should eat half, and one-fourth you shall fill up with water, and one-fourth you should leave vacant so that there may be ventilation. Your digestion will be easily done. This is Ayurvedic law. Then there will be no disease. It is hygienic principle. And as soon as you eat more than what you can digest, you become diseased. That means you are punished. Srila Prabhupada, lecture August 26, 1973, London. Thank you, Mataji.
Srila Prabhupada actually has told us everything. Srila Prabhupada also has told us how to eat. Srila Prabhupada is telling that we should never overeat. Otherwise, we will get the indigestion, dysentery, and all these things. Our stomach should be filled half with food, one-fourth with water, and one-fourth should be left empty. It should be for ventilation. It should be air. We should not just fill up the stomach up to brim. That is not right. If we do that, then we will be diseased. So how much is our stomach capacity? We should eat half only. So this is what Prabhupada is telling. Just because prasadam is available sumptuously, we should not just go on eating. Yes, it is very, very tasty, and that has a bliss in it. But we should also know this rule. We should not overeat. We should not undereat. We should know how to eat. Okay, next. Servant Rose.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes. The Vedic, that is the Vedic system. Serve in rows. That is the Vedic system. That the people sit in rows behind their plates, and servers pass down the rows and put a very small portion of each foodstuff on each plate. Unless there is some objection by a person, then nothing is given. Then if anyone wants more, the servers pass up and down the rows continually and give more if anyone requests. In this way, nothing is wasted and everyone is satisfied. Srila Prabhupada letter to Giriraja, Vrindavana on 27 November 1971. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Yes, Mataji, you were, your net connection probably went off for a few seconds.
Okay, Maji, fine. So, yeah, what I was telling that this is a system, like whenever we serve prasadam, everyone sits in a row. Like we should avoid that prasadam should never be wasted. This is the principle. So what should we do? Initially, we should give little bit of all the items, and then we should move in the row upside down. And if someone wants more, then we give them more also. But initially we give little, and then if someone tells that I don't want, then we don't give. But prasadam should never be wasted. So Prabhupada is telling like this way, nothing will be wasted and everyone will be satisfied also. So this we should keep in mind, that we should not also, when we are serving also, we should not just give more and more and more so that that person cannot eat and then it will be wasted. We should keep these things in our mind. Okay, next we will read.
I will go ahead, Mataji.
Yeah.
One can always remain on the spiritual platform. One should take prasadam with great faith and should chant the holy name of the Lord and worship the deity in the temple, always remembering that deity. Mahaprasadam and the holy name do not belong to the mundane platform. By worshipping the deity, eating prasadam and chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can always remain on the spiritual platform. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela. Should I continue, Mataji?
No, Maji, we'll discuss a little bit.
Okay.
So, what is said that Krishna, we all know, right, that Krishna's name and Krishna are non-different. Similarly, Krishna Prasadam and Krishna are also non-different. Like here are given three things. Deity of the temple. We have discussed, right, that Archa Vigraha is Krishna himself. And he is non-different from Krishna. So Krishna and the deity in the temple is non-different. Like that holy name and Krishna are non-different. Similarly, Prasadam is also Krishna. That is also not on the mundane platform. It is completely spiritual. So by worshipping the deity, eating Prasadam and chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can always remain on the spiritual platform. So these things are very important. Like we all know about ABCD, right? A is taking association of devotees. B is book readings. Mainly we always recommend that first we should read Srila Prabhupada books because those books are complete. C is chanting and D is diet. Diet is prasad. So when we follow these ABCD, then gradually we progress in our spiritual life. Gradually we become free from the contaminations within. Gradually we become purified. And our attraction for Krishna increases. Our attraction for the service increases. So honoring prasadam is a very important limb of devotional service. We should all know, and we should all have the proper mood while honoring prasadam. Okay, next we will read.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Immediately he touches on the head because it is Krishna. It's called Prasad Seva, not Prasada enjoyment. Seva means giving service. Prasada is as good as Krishna. Therefore, Prasada should be respected as good as Krishna. As soon as one gets Prasadam, immediately he touches on the head because it is Krishna. Absolute. In this way, we have to be trained up as it is prescribed in the Shastras. Srila Prabhupada lecture, Srimad Bhagavatam 6.1.18, July 1st, 1975 in Denver. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So we have seen, like, we may be in practice that we get some prasadam, we do like this and then we honor it, right? Similarly, we will discuss, like, after this, there is also a section of how to honor prasadam, how to serve prasadam, how to offer bhoga. All these are there in this session, in this lesson. So like before honoring prasadam, we have prayers, like we chant some prayers. We will discuss, like there's a prayer which says like Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmane Vaishnave Salpa Punyam Vatam Rajam Vishwasenaiva Jayate. Like that, it is a very nice prayer. We will discuss in the next class. So we should always, whenever we are honoring prasadam, we should pray because that is Krishna. So we are honoring that prasadam, which is also spiritual. So we should always respect it. So for respecting, we should always we should always do prayer. So there is a prayer, bona fide prayer by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, which we always recite before honoring prasadam. So that is very important. That we should develop. That we should practice. Like as soon as we get prasadam, immediately it touches on the head. In this way, we have to be trained up to as it is prescribed in the Shastras. It is not for enjoyment. We should not see prasadam as for enjoyment. That is a seva. That is also a devotional service. So that change of consciousness is very important. Actually, there is a pastime of Mahaprabhu in which Mahaprabhu goes to Advaita Acharya's house, and Advaita Acharya offers prasadam to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu do, he circumambulates the prasadam 3 times. Like when we go to temple, we circumambulate the temple, right? The deities, right? We circumambulate. There is like we should always circumambulate the deity. We circumambulate Tulsi. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu circumambulated the prasadam just to show us that how prasadam is not different from Krishna and it has the same spiritual character. So like all these quotes were just to make up our consciousness that we should not take prasadam a mundane thing, like normal restaurant food where say like that there is a temple prasadam. We should not take like that. Prasadam is completely spiritual. We should know what is it and we should know how to honor it and what is the significance. Like all these we will be discussing in our subsequent slides. Like today the time is over, so I will stop here only. But next class there are several pastimes also from Chaitanya Charitamrita which discusses about prasadam, the importance, how to honor and everything. So we'll discuss everything. And we will also discuss how to honor prasadam, how to serve, how to make, everything we will discuss. And maybe in the next class, we will try to complete this lesson. So I'll stop here. If anyone has any doubt or any points to share, can please do.
There was a question in the chat, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Usha Mohan Mataji, would you like to ask?
Yes, please, Mataji. I cannot differentiate what you mean by Vaishnava. Who is a Vaishnava? I mean, like prasadam, I understood is food. What we eat is what God is giving us. So it is his prasad. But what do you mean by Vaishnava?
Mataji, Vaishnavas are the devotees of the Lord. Vaishnavas, actually it is said that Vaishnavas are those who are practicing pure devotional service. So Brahmana is one, Brahmana and Vaishnavas are different. Brahmana, those who are following all the Brahmanical rules and regulations. Like there are several stages. Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Vaishnava is, so there are different stages. So when we start practicing devotional life, then first we come to the platform of Brahmana and gradually we come to the platform of Vaishnava. So Vaishnava is one who knows how to serve Krishna, who knows who knows what is pure devotional service. So one who is practicing pure devotional service, one who is taking Krishna's name. Even if it is said that one who takes Krishna's name once is a Vaishnava, but basically one who is practicing pure devotional service is a Vaishnava. Serving Krishna.
So Mataji, like all of us who believe and want to get close to Krishna, we will come in Vaishnava category.
Yes, Mataji, we want to become a Vaishnava. Yeah. We are practicing Vaishnavas.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
We are also practicing devotees, but our goal is to become a Vaishnava one day.
Okay. Thank you. Jai Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, I want to know why onion and garlic are excluded from the foods. That is.
Okay, Prabhuji. This is a very widely asked question. So, onion and garlic is actually tamasic. In Bhagavad Gita, there are 3 sections. It is said that for everything comes under 3 sections: Rajogun, Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. So, this onion garlic comes under Tamoguni food. And there are several explanations. Actually, we don't take onion garlic just by one explanation, that Krishna doesn't take onion garlic. Krishna takes only fruits, grains, vegetables, like these things, milk. These things Krishna takes. It is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna doesn't take onion garlic. So just because Krishna doesn't take, and we honor prasadam, we whatever we eat only after offering it to Krishna, we don't take. This is the first explanation. Second is on scientific view also. Like there are several studies has been done that onion garlic increases the negative emotions in us, the anger and everything. So it is actually a tamoguni thing. And I've also heard that they are not very good for health. Like some people tell that garlic is good for joint pain and all, but actually the negative effect is also there. It is not good for cardiovascular system. There is a very beautiful article I will share in the group. Maybe you can go through it, why onion garlic is not we don't take onion and garlic. So first thing is it is tamsing, that's why we don't take, and Krishna doesn't take onion garlic, and we take only prasadam. And scientifically also it is not good for health, and it increases the negative emotions in us.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Ashok Prabhu has a question. Ashok Prabhu, would you like to ask your question?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
So the question is, when we started initially today's class, Mataji, you have mentioned anything can be offered to the God, like ornaments, clothes, everything, whatever we purchase. But my doubt is, when we are purchasing clothes or ornaments, so we already tries in the shop itself, right? So how can we offer to the God at home? That is my query.
No, Prabhuji, actually this is not what I was telling. Actually it is whatever when we have a deity at home or in the temple, we have certain paraphernalia, right, for the deities. They have we have clothes for deities. Daily garlands are made for Mangalarti, for Darshanarti, that is offered to the deities. Now those garlands we can take as prasadam. It is not that we are buying clothes for ourselves and then we offer it to Krishna. It is not like that. Clothes and all, we don't offer it to Krishna. But whatever is Krishna's, then when we get it, it is like prasadam. We should not wear garland just like that. We should always, like some people have habit, no, like they will just put garland. They will make garland for a neta and they will put. But generally, it is said that we should only take garland as prasad. Whatever Krishna was wearing, now we can take it as prasad. It is not that whatever we purchase, we should offer it to Krishna. It is like whatever is Krishna's, we take it as prasad. It is like that. Remnants of Krishna. Am I clear, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna, am I clear?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, I understand.
Okay. So we recorded classes are there in YouTube, Prabhuji. Yeah. Recorded classes are there in YouTube. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Like we studied that prasadam should not be heated, no?
Yeah.
Like when we offer prasadam to Krishna, we make curry, no? We make curry and we offer it to Krishna. And that will be mixed to the main vessel, no? So again in the night, we will, if it is too cold and all, we heat it up, no? So then like how should we go about it?
Yeah, actually, Mataji, actually in Ayurveda also it is said that we should not reheat the food. It loses all the nutrients. Even if we say scientifically, but the general norms is that we should cook only that much which we can use that time. Like if I am cooking for lunch, I should only cook the amount of food which can be consumed for the lunch. Dinner again we should cook. Like these are the general principles, but not every time we are able to follow all the principles. In that case, you can, but general principle is that if I'm cooking for dinner, I should cook only for dinner. I should not keep it for the another day. And I should complete, I should, like in last class also, Ashura Mataji would have discussed that how we should just cook whatever can be consumed that time. We should not keep it again in the refrigerator or anywhere like that.
Because to save time, and when the people are less in the
Yeah.
house, we can't do again and again, no, Mataji. So that's why
Yeah.
I asked you.
I can understand, Mataji. Actually, these are some practical things. If it is not possible, you can do like that. Actually, basically, it is very important that we take prasadam, right? We do our sadhana nicely, we read nicely, we do some services, we honor prasadam, we go to temple. These are the basic things. Others, we have to do maximum, whatever we are able to do. If that is not practical for us, we can modify under the guidance of some senior devotees.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Sudha Mataji, would you like to ask your question?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Is masoor dal also to be avoided, Mataji?
Yeah, yes, Mataji. Actually, masoor dal also comes under, is also tamasic. It grows in shed, right? So we should not take masoor dal. Even mushrooms also we should not take. It also grows in the shed. So those things are avoided.
Oh, I see. Okay. Also, if I'm not mistaken, I read somewhere, I don't remember which chapter or one of the previous classes, that we should eat food, prasadam, within 3 hours of cooking or something like that. I had come across somewhere. 3 hour is the time limit within which the food has to be eaten once it is cooked. Is that correct?
Yeah. Actually, it is a norm. That is the basic, like that is a guideline. But sometimes it may not be possible. Like for me only, I am a doctor, so I have to go to hospital. So morning only I will cook, we will pack the lunch and we will take to hospital, and afternoon we eat that. So sometimes it is not possible, Mataji. So that time we can do some modification under the guidance of seniors.
Oh.
But if it is possible, we should definitely do that. Within 3 years, we should take.
And also, we have learned about the importance of eating Krishna prasadam. So, does it mean that if we are not eating Krishna prasadam, does it mean that we are sinning? Like, is it a sin not to eat the prasadam automatically?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So
actually, it is mentioned so many times by Srila Prabhupada in Bhagavatam also, in many of the books, in Bhagavad Gita also, that if we are not taking prasadam, we are eating just sin. Like we know, right, that if we kill animal, then we get reaction. Similarly, if we kill a plant also, that also has life. So a little bit of reaction we get. Although the reaction by eating plants is very, very less in comparison to animal, which is tremendously high, but still there is some reaction. Also, those all reactions are nullified when we offer it to Krishna. It becomes spiritual, right? So we don't get any reaction. Plus, also when we are eating prasadam, if we are not offering it to Krishna, we are like a thief, because whatever is used to grow the grains, we are not making it, right? Like we are not, we have not manufactured sun, we have not manufactured soil, we have not manufactured water. All these things Krishna is giving. Rain Krishna is giving, sun Krishna is giving, soil Krishna is giving, all the genetics inside the seed Krishna has made. So everything Krishna has done. We are just going to market purchasing and we are cooking. But if we are doing like that, then we are like a thief. We are not offering it to Krishna. So that sin comes to us. So whatever we cook, we should offer. If we don't, that is a sacrifice. We should do that sacrifice. Otherwise, it is a sin.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, we just read that we should not eat too much, but at the same time, we should not eat less also. So that less eating, does that, so when we are fasting, we kind of eat less, right? So that's okay?
Yes, Madhuri, fasting days are okay. That is just once in 15 days, right? Ekadashi fast. So that is okay. Even if we eat less, that is. In fact, it is said that even scientifically, if we fast one day in 15 days, then it increases our longevity of life. It is very good for our health. And spiritually, though, like I'm just telling material things, although it is a very lower explanation, but I'm still telling because many of us have more faith on science other than scriptures. But our scriptures tells so many things about observing Ekadashi.
Yes. Langanam Parama Aushadam, I've heard that also. Like they say, when you're fasting, it heals your body also periodically.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah, yes, Mataji. Sure.
Now, suppose I've forgotten to add salt to the food on a particular day, and I've offered it to Krishna, and I've taken it back, and my entire family says there's absolutely no salt. Are we supposed to add salt? Because I not, it's a terrible thing to offer it to Krishna without salt. Or do I have to recook everything and, what do I do?
Mataji, actually, I've seen in one of the senior Mataji's house that they actually add salt if it is required. Like proper consciousness is we should take it but I've seen senior devotees also doing. They will add. We can add, Mataji.
It's allowed, Mataji.
Yeah, we should ask for forgiveness to Krishna at least that I offered you such a food. Please forgive me.
No, I went to a Sankirtan in a devotee's house. All the devotees ate without salt. The others added salt. So I didn't add salt, but I was just very curious to know what if it happens
Mataji,
to me.
Actually, what Srila Prabhupada did now, whatever Krishna has given us, or we just accept it as Krishna's remnants. We don't take it for our enjoyment. That is a Prasad Seva. That is not Prasad enjoyment. So we should take it as it is. But if we are giving to devotees also, then maybe we can add. I will check it with some senior devotee. But I think we can add. I'll tell you in the next class, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. It sounds very silly, but I always wanted to know.
Yeah. I'll check with some senior Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Why not mushrooms? Mataji, because mushroom also grows under shed, right? So it is also in ignorance, in mode of ignorance. So mushrooms are also avoided. Then there was another question.
You've taken all the questions in the chat, Mataji, unless you've got something directly.
Okay. That Tulsi question was asked some classes back. So I asked with an Mataji, she told there is no such rule. We can even chew it. It doesn't matter. We should not just, it is not a rule that we just have to swallow it. I checked with the senior Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Aishwarya Mataji also said the same thing in the last class, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, that particular question about salt, I'll ask and I'll get back in the next class.
No problem, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Okay, so shall we end the class?
I see no questions, Mataji. No hands raised as well.
Okay. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhayeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.